Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
Super spicy wildcard weekend is here. Welcome to Gambling with Gold. My name is Jason Gold. This is Justin Henry. We are going to give you our top 5 bets for wildcard weekend. Let's dive right into it. Justin, you excited?
Oh, I'm excited, man. My Niners are playing. It should be a good weekend, too. There's a lot of games. I think you can get an edge in a few of these matchups, so I'm excited that me and you are going to get to talk about it today.
Speaking of the 49ers, I'm going to throw it out there first. My number one lock on the board this week is going to be the San Francisco 49ers, minus 9.5. Bet that before it gets to 10. I'm going to guess that you're riding with me on this one.
Definitely riding with you. It wasn't actually one of my top 5. I try not to bet on my squad, but I love the play there against Seattle. This should be a good one, especially with the weather coming down. The Niners are going to have to stick to the run game, and that defense is going to be a factor. So I really do like it, man. On my side, my number one, though, this Buffalo Bills team, minus 13. I know it's a lot of points to lay, but for me, this is going to be a demolition, a destruction, an absolute domination by a team that is playing with a heavy heart and playing with a lot to play for. This Buffalo Bills team, I think, puts the rest of the AFC on notice. Skylar Thompson's not able to handle the business there. So give me the Bills in this one. Jason, how you feeling about that one?
That is my number 2 pick of the week is the Buffalo Bills, minus 13. In a couple of different ways, I'd like to play that as well. One, if I see DeMar Hamlin on the goddamn sidelines or walking out of the tunnel, I am throwing all of my marbles on Buffalo first half. They're going to come out and absolutely dominate in this game. I love Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown in this one. I think that he'll have a huge game for the Bills. And if you like him in fantasy, I do for this weekend specifically. If you're playing any sort of contest, I love him. Give me all the Buffalo stock. I don't think it's close. I actually put them in a bunch of parlays and teasers earlier in the week when the line was lower. Kind of gotten out of control for that. Moneyline's not even offered right now, but I still like the Bills minus 13.
Man, run through a wall for DeMar Hamlin if he's there on the sideline, man. Another team, man, is going to be without some key guys. This Ravens team, for me, sitting at plus 8.5 against this Bengals team is my number 2 play of the week. Now, a lot of people be like, they don't have Lamar Jackson. This Ravens team isn't doing well. Cincinnati is on a 10-game win streak. They're one of the hottest teams in the AFC, in the league, I should say. I don't care. I don't care. This Ravens team is up for the challenge. It's a division game, and this run game, man, with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards full in effect and back healthy now, is dangerous. Even with Tyler Huntley at quarterback, who he has to play in this game in order for that 8.5 to hold up, in my opinion. I think this is a game that the Ravens could outright win if the defense holds up and this team does play well like I expect them to on Sunday. Give me the Ravens plus 8.5 in a very tightly contested matchup.
I have the Ravens plus 8.5 as my number 3 pick as well. And I'm a little scared here because, look, I understand the entire thing about why the Ravens should be a good team in this spot. Divisional team, AFC North, these games are always fucking field goal games. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be close. It's going to be ugly. And this Ravens defense is still elite. My question is, if this is not Tyler Huntley, why am I betting this number right now? If this ends up being Anthony Brown, this line is going to be 10, 10.5, 11. So I'm going to end up betting on the Ravens regardless. I don't think that if it is Tyler Huntley, that this line comes down. So there's no reason for me to bet it right now. I'm going to hold, but I can guarantee you if it's Tyler Huntley, I will bet the 8.5. And if it's Anthony Brown, I will bet the 11, 10.5, whatever. I don't care. I will end up on the Ravens in this game.
I like that. And even with Anthony Brown, I think this team is going to play up. Like, they'll play up to their competition. I can see that happening as well. Even if, like you mentioned, it gets to 11, 10, 12, wherever it lies if he starts. I do like that as well. My number 3 pick, the team out in L.A., going to Florida, playing against this Jacksonville, one of the hotter teams in the league as well. I think this Chargers team is up for the challenge. minus 2, even favored on the road. Again, in a game where they're going to have to play against a very hot Trevor Lawrence, a very well-coached Doug Peterson-led team. I like this Chargers team to bounce back. I know they played their starters last week, and there was a lot of concern about Brandon Staley leaving these guys out there. But you saw Austin Eckler actually came out and said he liked that. He liked that they got to come out and see, got to play that last week and knock some of the rust off. So for me, I like him getting Khalil Mack back, Joey Bosa, Derwin James, a lot of their starters on defense. This is the healthiest we've seen this Charger team coming into the playoffs. I think they clear this Jaguars team on Saturday.
I would love to see it. You know that I would love to see it. You know I want to see my Herbert guy succeed. But you also heard my dream from yesterday, which is that Jacksonville wins 24-21, Brandon Staley gets fired, and they hire Sean Payton. So, you know what? My dreams have been wrong before. That's the reason that they're dreams and not reality.
Multiple ways to win in the Jason card. Multiple ways to win.
Exactly. Perfect. That's great. All right, so what we're going to do now to close this out, since there's only 6 games, we're not going to do 5 games against the spread that we're going to bet on. The last 2 bets are going to be one teaser and one total that we like this week. Justin, why don't you kick us off with your teaser?
You know, this teaser, man, this is a game. The game I like the most, I think, this weekend is the game that has 2 of the teams that perform well in the clutch. They know how to get it done in crunch time, which typically means that it's a 1-score game. Now, not in prime time, we're not talking about Kirk, but there's a knack for this Vikings and Giants teams both to be in close games, close matchups. And when I see this line at 2.5, I'm thinking, you know what? There's no way. The Giants have an opportunity to win this game against the Vikings, let alone get blown out. Let's tease it to 8.5. Give me the Giants at 8.5, plus 8.5. And I think that's a good margin for this Brian Dable team that has a chance. Like I said, I think they could win this outright.
Absolutely. So I'm going to take the easy way out here. I'm going to take Cincinnati minus 2.5. I think that they're going to win. They're not going to cover the 8.5 or whatever it ends up being. But given the fact that this might be Anthony Brown in this game, grabbing that 2.5 right now before the line moves is the best value that I see on the board. Now, there are a couple of other options that I like a lot too. San Francisco as a 7-point teaser from 9.5 to 2.5. Absolute lock if you want to throw that in with anything else. I know that you agree with me there. So if you want to take a 7 on somewhere else, maybe you want to take the Giants up to 10. You want to take Tampa Bay up to 9.5. Fine, go do it. The other leg that I really like is that Tampa Bay plus 8.5 Monday Night Football. I don't think that Dallas is going to dominate Tampa Bay in a way. Can you see Brady at home in the playoffs losing by more than a touchdown? I don't know.
I don't see it, but I just think it depends on what Dallas team we get. They're so Jekyll and Hyde. Like one week we'll see this powerhouse, the other week we'll see like this team that's beatable. So it depends, man. But I don't think Brady doesn't normally go out like that.
We should talk about that game a little bit more because it's the only game that we haven't really discussed yet. We know that we're both on San Francisco. Yep. You like the Chargers. I'm staying away from that game. We're both on Buffalo. Minnesota Giants we like as a potential teaser piece, maybe a money line piece if you want to play it, but that'll probably be small. We're both on the Ravens. I think that you probably agree with me that getting Cincinnati as a teaser piece right now is probably good value.
Absolutely.
So we're on the same place in the first 5. The last game, Dallas-Tampa Bay, will make this one special. Dallas minus 2.5. Totals at 45.5 right now. Dallas minus 140 on the money line. Tampa Bay plus 120 coming back. What is your sense on this game? Because you're right. We don't know what Dallas team is going to show up. And they've played games this year, specifically the game versus Minnesota, where they literally look like the best team in the NFL, and it is not close. And then they try to win last week, and they look like absolute dog shit. I don't know what team we're getting here. What's your take?
That's the thing, and I think it relies on this run game and the defense. And we haven't seen Tony Pollard out there. We've seen Micah Parsons a little banged up. So it absolutely depends on the play of the run game and the defense. And if Dak can just be consistent, be more of a game manager than absolutely trying to win this game himself, this Tampa Bay team is vulnerable. Like, they've struggled against Arizona. They struggled against Carolina and pulled out the win there. Like, it's not like this team has been going and blowing teams out. So this offensive line is in shambles for the Tampa Bay Bucks. They haven't been able to establish the run all season long. So if this Dallas pass rush can get in there, if they can step up and the run game for this Cowboy team can be efficient, I think they can win this game comfortably even on the road in prime time.
So Dallas minus 2.5 or take the minus 140. I really want to take Tampa because it's Brady, it's at home, and we just saw how Dallas looked. And if Dak throws an interception early, like, the whole momentum of this game is completely thrown off.
And that could happen.
I almost want to live bet this game because I think if Dallas gets up, they don't get the lead back. Like, I don't think that Tampa Bay is coming from behind against Dallas in this situation. But if Dallas has to play from behind and Dak is forced to put the ball in the air, I don't know. Like, that's real dicey to me right now.
You make a good point though, because both of these teams, I think, are big momentum teams, right? When things are going well for the Bucks, it's like they start putting on points, especially in the second half of games where they feel like they can either extend a lead or they have to come back. It's like this second half Bucks team almost feels the pressure and performs better. And this Dallas team, I almost feel like when Dallas is up, they get up big. And then when they're down, it's like all things start to unravel. Or when it's a close game, things start to unravel. So I really like that live betting take on that.
All right. That does it for the Super Wildcard Weekend bets. My name's Jason Gold. This is Justin Henry. Make sure to download that Champions Round app. Use that code SPICY for a $10 promo code to play Spicy Slips. And if you want to play fantasy football this weekend for the NFL playoffs, we have 2 game modes that you can play. Play Boost Ball or play Sunday's Best. They're both great. Boost Ball goes for the entire playoffs. Sunday's Best is just for this week. They're great. They're easy. They're free. You can play for money, whatever. Go download the Champions app right now and go and play. Justin, good luck with your bets this weekend. Let's make some money, baby.
Yes, sir. Same to you. Let's get it.